When I was younger, I was a Bret Hart fan. I always enjoyed watching his matches. He always just seemed like he had a pretty good grasp on how to entertain an audience. So around the time of the first Classic Superstars line that Jakks put out, I grabbed the first figure that they made of him, and I really liked it. But I also stopped collecting wrestling figures around the same time, so that was the one I had for the longest time. A couple of years ago, when I got back into animating, I started picking up a lot of the figures that I had missed, mostly Bret. And as you can see now, I got more Bret Hart figures than I know what to do with, and probably more than I need. But whatever, it's just one of the things I like collecting. Anyway, as far as today's video goes, I'm going to talk about the 4 Mattel figures that have come out so far. They've only released 4, and that's fine with me because I don't have a lot of money these days. Alright, we'll get started with the first one they put out, which was Defining Moments Series 5. This is based on his Canadian Stampede attire. I think it was some kind of a 10-man tag, if I'm not mistaken. But being that this is one of the first figures they put out, it was also one of the hardest ones for me to get. I just got this guy yesterday. Now you can see he comes with a lot of pretty awesome stuff. I mean, he's an elite-styled figure, so he's got a lot of articulation. He comes with the World Championship that he had around the time, late 1997. He comes with sunglasses. They're like a reflective silver rather than the pink he's known for. I think it's pretty cool. He also comes with his leather jacket, the Hart Foundation logo on the back. He was wearing this around the time of late 97. And of course, underneath the jacket, he's got his elbow pads, so if you want to just have him looking like a wrestler as opposed to just his entrance attire, you can do that. You can take a look at all the detail on his tights, too. They definitely made sure they nailed it. I think it's one of the best figures they've made in the entire Mattel line. I mean, he comes with everything you'd ever want with Bret Hart. Now, a lot of people think that this is like a Survivor Series era attire, and while they're not far off the mark, the Canadian Stampede attire was slightly different. I mean, if we take a look at the details here, the pink is in the middle with the white flames on the outside, whereas at Survivor Series 1997 in Montreal, he had the white on the inside and the pink flames on the outside. It's a minor detail, but it's a detail nonetheless. Speaking of details, he should have come with knee pads. I don't understand why they skipped it. I mean, it seems like kind of a dumb thing to miss out on. He gave him elbow pads under the jacket, which you won't even see if you're a men-on card collector, but you don't give him the knee pads that you can plainly see. Like, look, how would I know if he has elbow pads on? Well, I would definitely miss the fact that he has knee pads missing, though. It just seems like kind of a silly thing for Mattel to miss. I mean, I went back and checked, and he wore knee pads at the event, so, I don't know. I guess it's just poor decision-making. Luckily, I had spares, so I just slapped them on him. So if you have a spare pair of knee pads, this is pretty much the perfect Bret Hart figure for that late 1997 appearance. And being that this is the one that I remember watching on TV, I definitely recommend it. Now we go back to 1988 to the Royal Rumble Heritage Series. This is his Hart Foundation attire, and it was very early on, so he didn't have a lot of flair or finesse in his design. He just kind of had very simple, straightforward pink tights with a black stripe. So it doesn't make for a very exciting looking figure, but it's not a bad figure. It's just how he looked at the time. Things were a little simpler for him back then. Comes with the black knee pads and the black elbow pads, which he wore at the Rumble. And it's got the stars on the boots and all the good designs. It's a basic figure, so you don't get a lot of the articulation that you would get with an Elite, but it's not bad. Pick it up if you can find it cheap, but apparently that's not easy to do, so, well, I don't know. See if you can find it. Moving on now, we got a more modern take on Bret from his WWE run in 2010. I think this is from SummerSlam. He was a part of a mixed tag match or something. I don't know, I didn't really watch it. But I saw that this figure was coming out, and I thought it was a pretty good representation of Bret's more recent appearances in WWE. He also used to wear this stuff around the backstage areas too, back in the older days. You could put a younger head scan on him and use it for that, I guess. The detail in the shirt for me is awesome. I like how they designed it, and it's pretty much a perfect representation of the new Hitman shirt that he was coming out with at the time. Look at that. Freaking badass. Now the head scan is a little something weird. I don't know if it's a sculpt or a scan or what it is. I mean, from certain angles it does look like Bret, but from other angles it looks like Alice Cooper to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But he does have the Elite style articulation, so you can get good poses out of him, and he's overall a fun figure, so I'd say pick it up if you're a Bret Hart fan and you don't mind his more recent look. He also comes with a part of Michael Cole, but I don't care about Michael Cole that much. Anyway, finally, we come to the ringside exclusive Bret Hart. This was from a Royal Rumble in 93, I believe, where he fought Razor Ramon. And as you can see, the detailing on this one is awesome. Being an exclusive figure, I would expect a little more attention to detail, and they definitely got it. But it's not perfect. I mean, look at this giant, bulky plastic coat. What's that all about? Tell me what you think. You think it sucks? Look at this thing. Freaking sucks. I mean, I know they can get more paint detail on it, but it hinders the articulation so poorly. I mean, what was wrong with that? How do we go from that coat to this piece of shit? I thought this one was fine. They couldn't have just made it in pink and put it on him? Ah, well, at least it comes off. Look, it even looks stupid on the ground. The good side is, once you get the coat off, this figure's awesome. He comes with the pink sunglasses. He's got his all pink ring attire with the black and white details, all the star designs on the side and everything. If you take a look at the sides of the trunks, you can see the speckled details in there with the stars. And of course he's got the ab crunch the Elite figures have, which would have been useless inside the coat, but at least the coat comes off. This time around he comes with pink sunglasses rather than the silver reflective ones. Nice touch. Now you can see I added elbow pads to my figure because Mattel never seems to want to include both elbow and knee pads for Bret. And yes, he did wear elbow pads at the event. It seems like the basic figure was the only one they gave elbow and knee pads to. I like the lighter hair color. It's not that jet black that all the other ones have. And I'm not thrilled with the giant knee pads, but at least he's got knee pads, so I won't complain about that. Overall, this is a great figure. One of the things I like to do is swap out the accessories between both of the Elite wrestling attire Brets. I think the silver glasses on the pink one just make the figure pop a little more, and the black jacket looks nice. Whereas the pink glasses on the late 97 Bret definitely reflect the time period a little better. To me, anyway. It's nice to have the options to customize them like this. So, if you were going to spend money on one Bret Hart figure, which would it be? Well, I would say the exclusive one is awesome, but the best one they've done is the Defining Moments one. Their first try at a Bret Hart figure, and they definitely hit it out of the park. He comes with the belt, the flag, the glasses, the jacket. Aside from knee pads, he comes with absolutely everything that Bret Hart should have. So, that's my opinion anyway. Hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.